Welcome to the Write Your Own Story podcast. I'm your host, Betsy Leonidas, and the founder of the Write Your Own Story company. Girl, I can tell you right now, you are definitely enough. Here we value service, sisterhood, connection, laughter, and that super genuine, keep it real, tell you like it is honesty. My hope is at the end of each episode, you realize you can do whatever it is you dream about and that you are not alone with what you struggle with. I'm hoping that you are snapping and clapping and hell yes in your way through each one of these episodes. So if this tracks with you, let's get started. I'm so glad you're here. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the latest episode of the Write Your Own Story podcast. I'm your host, Betsy Leonidas, and it's just me today. I am so thrilled. This is my first episode of 2026 of season 3. I literally can't believe I've been doing this show for what will now be the 3rd season. I know I say this all the time, but this show I started when I was feeling lonely as a new single mom, and I really missed service, sisterhood, laughter, and connection. It's the whole reason I started this business. And then I also found in my kind of tough, really open and honest conversations about going through divorce and all the other things I was struggling with, that I could see women's shoulders relax. I could see them, maybe we weren't struggling with the same thing, but the fact that I was admitting what I was struggling with or what I was striving for, or, just more honest, open conversations seemed to bring out something in women that I was like, I really want to try and amplify this. So for all of you guys listening, following along, rooting, cheering, sending guests, asking to be on the show, this show has given me more than I ever could have ever imagined. And I hope and wish and pray every day that it can give you what it has given me, which is more confidence, more perspective, a more peaceful life. And I feel so inspired every single week from being able to talk to these amazing women. So frickin' cheers to season 3, you guys. What an incredible ride this has been. And for anyone who is going through something in their life right now where it has been turned upside down, or the rug has been pulled out, or maybe you're in a long-term hard situation, trust the other side. Trust that, and my other side is still messy and squirrely and whirly, but it is so beautiful. And I am so happy and I am so genuinely fulfilled that these are gifts in the specific way that they show up with the show and the coaching. I never could have seen this coming. So if you are in the waves crashing all over you and you are in the shitstorm, just have faith that the other side is pretty incredible, because I'm here to tell you it really can be. You got to build it. You got to look for it. You got to trust yourself. But you also just have to have faith that will all unravel and all will be well. So that is what I've got to start us off with the 3rd season of the Write Your Own Story podcast. I also want to say that this episode will be airing actually this week, probably like January 7th or 8th. I am really late in recording it. I just got back late last night from an incredible trip to Mexico with my kids. It was a lot of work as a mom and the cruise director of our show, because it was high season and traveling internationally and all the things. But oh my God, did we have a good time. So there was no internet in Mexico. And before that, we were doing all the magic of Christmas. I hosted Christmas for the first time since I've been divorced. So just prepping for that, it was just incredible. And for the past couple of weeks, I just wanted to be a mom. Just that's it. End of sentence. And that is one of the most incredible things about owning your own business, is that if you can rearrange it where you can say, you know what, I can deal with the implications of shutting down the business for a couple of weeks, because all I want to do these couple of weeks is be a mom. So here I am, rising from the mom ashes, the holiday ashes, to kick us off. But I want to say, so let's say it's January 7th when this launches, or you're listening to this in the middle of January or whatever it may be. If this episode really is all around a reflection of 2025, how I'm really thinking about prepping for 2026, how I'm setting goals, a webinar that I'm so excited about that is happening in just a week or so. So I want to do one last big push to get you guys to sign up for it, because it really brings my heart a ton of joy. But what I want to say before we kick off is, if you don't have your 2026 planner yet, if you don't know your 2026 goals yet, if you still have your Christmas decorations up like me, if you are just waiting till your kids go back to school and then you still need a week to recover, catch up on the laundry, whatever it is, if you're not ready to set your goals, or if you're feeling behind already, please stop feeling behind. You are exactly where you're meant to be. You need the right headspace for when it is time to set goals. So give yourself the grace, come up for air when you're ready, when you're in the right headspace, when you're in the right physical space, and you have some time to sit down and think. So please, if there's any sort of societal pressure with all the, I feel like anytime I go on Instagram now, I'm just being sold to, and I'm kind of sick of it. We'll get into more of that later. But, I'm seeing a million different ads for 2026 planners, which I love me a planner, so I'm not mad about it. But my point is, if you're feeling a lot of the pressure, just let the air out. Be ready when you're ready. If you're ready now, let's go. If you're not, you're doing just fine. So you just keep hanging in there. Don't lose sight of it. Just screenshot the things that interest you, or bookmark this for later if you think this helps, or whatever it may be. But first and foremost, give yourself a break. We've all been so busy. January is not like all of a sudden we get this fresh restart. So you're doing just fine right where you are. Okay, first and foremost, I wanted to start off. If you are ready to start setting goals, if you're an entrepreneur out there and you feel like you have 87 million billion tabs open in your brain, if you feel like your business is all hustle, if you feel like results are low, if you feel like your head is spinning, if you just feel like you don't know where to focus to drive the biggest impact for your business, please come join us on January 12th. We have a webinar from 12:30 to 2. It will be recorded. So if for some reason you can't make it, you can always watch the replay. But this is all around picking the right goals for your business for 2026. So like every other person in the world, if you have a ton of noise in your head, but you just can't figure out where to actually hit the whack-a-mole thing to keep moving forward, and you feel like that's the game that you've been playing, especially as the year closes, let us help you cut the noise out of your head and set the goals that actually move the needle, and discover how to focus on what matters the most for your business. So Tyann Filson, who is also a Jay Shetty certified instructor, she's certified in leadership, wellness, mindset, yoga, but what she loves to focus on is ambitious souls and help them go inward so they can go upward. Let me tell you, I've worked with Tyann many a times. She's been on the show before. She is so incredible. So often the answers that we seek, the direction that we need, actually not so often, every single time, the answer is on the inside. There's just too much noise around it, suffocating it so we can't hear it. And Tyann has this incredible ability as a human to cut through the noise and ask you the questions that you're like, oh shit, that's really what I needed to think about. Now I can unlock this goal with ease. You have the right goal when all of a sudden you start to feel peaceful about it. And you're like, oh yeah, I can see how that directly moves my business in the direction that I need to. And I can see how it's a broader goal. So then I can set SMART goal underneath it that makes it, measurable and actionable and time bound and all the things, so that you can break it down into these little tiny bite sizes. So if you have 1,000 goals right now for your business, come hang out with us on January 12th. We're going to cut that list way down and focus on what really matters. If you want a simple framework for prioritizing your goals, come hang out with us on January 12th. If you want to be able to understand what's the difference between needle moving goals and nice to have goals, like what actually drives impact versus what sounds nice, come hang out with us on January 12th. If you want to understand how to connect your goals to actual daily and weekly tasks and actions, so progress feels inevitable instead of just overwhelming or maybe even accidental, come hang out with us on January 12th. And most importantly, another fun bonus that we're going to focus on is gaining the confidence to ignore the trends and the noise and the comparison that is just screaming at you on social when you're trying to promote your business, and focus on what truly matters for your business. So this is not only going to be that really grounding kind of soul work, but it's also going to be really powerful, actionable. Okay, what are my 1 or 2 goals? How is that going to break down over the year? How is that going to break down over the month? How's that going to break down over the week? How's that going to break down during the day? How am I going to kick ass in 2026 and feel really good, proud, confident, and calm and clear while doing it? Come hang out with Tyann and I. Again, that's January 12th. You go to writeyourownstory.co and click on Female Founders Academy and look for the webinar series. You can register today. It is $79. You get the recorded class. I will be interviewing Tyann and she'll be walking us through the framework. And then we will be doing a live Q&A. I want you to come and bring your questions, because I promise you the questions that you're brave enough to ask are the questions that the other women on the call are wondering in their head, or even yet, They are the questions that they're like, God, I didn't even know I needed to ask that. So the whole webinar series is built because I wanted to be able to connect more live with people in this space. Maybe you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, but you're craving some community because entrepreneurship can feel incredibly lonely. So that is exactly what this series is built for. And that is why we want to start with goals to help you feel confident and clear as opposed to stuck and overwhelmed when you start your 2026. So again, we are live on January 12th. If this is something that you just know you're not ready for on January 12th, or you have a timing conflict, sign up anyway, and you will get the recording because this is going to be highly valuable and highly impactful. And let me tell you, Tyann is someone that you want in your pocket. She's incredible co-host with me on this one. So that is it. I wanted to start us off with that. If any of that rings true, come hang out with us. It's going to be one hell of a girl gang. Okay. Shifting gears a little bit. I'm kind of doing this live. I did some journaling on actual January 1st. We stayed up till midnight actually in Mexico and like partied and all the, well, as party as you get with your oldest kid being 14, but we had such a great time. We were all so tired the next morning. I got myself a cup of coffee and sat with my journal while the kids just like hung out on their screens and woke up slow. So I did have some time to think about 2026, but also like that was on vacation. This is me kind of live doing an audit of 2025. That's always where I really like to start is like, okay, in 2025, let's think about what were some of your wins and some of your like really great memories. What I have learned and what I feel like I won in 2025 was the great memories that lead to real happiness, real joy, real peace are the little itty bitty moments. They are, I know you guys are going to be like, I'm going to punch you in the face because it sounds so cheesy, but it's the hot cup of coffee. It is waking up without anxiety. It is the meal that you shared with a friend that was just so delicious. It is hanging out at a dive bar with a group of people and laughing so hard that your makeup is streaming down your face and your stomach hurts. It is finding an incredible show to binge or a book that you just can't put down. It is dance parties in the kitchen. It is a meal where all the kids are around the table as opposed to some at various sports. It is getting the laundry all actually put away and on time before the laundry basket spills over. It's the little things, you guys. I have said, I am so fortunate that people often comment about how happy I am. That just made me so emotional. But I didn't know if I'd ever be happy again. And I am so happy. And I swear to God, it is not because of these big, giant, I mean, I do great big things. You know, I've started my own company. I go on great vacations, blah, blah, blah. But what has really, truly made me so happy is I found a way to fall in love with the life at my feet. I say it over and over again. If you can be present and focus on the here and now and see the good in the little things, it makes all the hard things totally manageable. So that is my big, big, big win for 2025 is I have never felt so happy. I don't have an incredible relationship in 2025. Actually, that was one of the things that didn't go so well in 2025. I had a lot of things that didn't go so well in 2025. You know, work-wise, I had these sort of static courses and I learned that I had to feel like I had to sell them. You know, I had to go online and sell them all the time. And as I was explaining in the top of the show, Instagram just feels like a constant sales channel. I feel like I'm watching QVC where people are like, you know, trying to sell you a regular part of your day. And then they're like linked here if you want to. And I want it to be more an invitation to come hang out in a space full of incredible women or in a one-on-one environment where we can connect human to human, because that's what fills my cup. And I've learned is what drives the greatest impact. But having those static courses that I worked so hard to build, and I spent a lot of money producing them and building and you signing up for the platforms to actually house them on, et cetera. I sunk cost into this and a ton of time and a ton of energy and a ton of expertise, and it doesn't feel right. And that could be considered a failure. Sure, it is from a P&L standpoint, but it most importantly doesn't energetically feel like, so I'm no longer I'm not doing it right now. If it becomes part of the portfolio again, that expertise isn't going anywhere. I've built it. I'm proud of it, but that's something that I will not be bringing with me into 2026. And so being able to do those, and like I was mentioning before, like I was in a relationship for the beginning of 2025 and it never felt right. And you just kind of were like trying to figure it out, trying to figure out dating in your 40s is crazy. There's, nothing. You're back to being just a little bitty bitty baby. Nothing. And nice guy, not my guy. Right. And so there are things, it's not like I had these huge, incredible, I mean, I had these incredible vacations and I have, like all sorts of fun things happen and big work moments, but those aren't what made me so happy in 2025. Long story short, it's the little things, you guys. And that is what I am absolutely bringing with me into 2026. I'm bringing my happiness with me because I've finally figured out the key to happiness. I am bringing more of putting myself out there. I don't know why. And also not taking things personally. So if you put yourself out there and someone says, no, thank you, whether that be to, do you want to be in my book club? Do you want to go grab a drink? Do you want to go get dinner? Hey, I could use some help, or I don't know, any little example of putting yourself out there, sharing something that you created. If someone doesn't receive it, says no, thank you, says whatever, it is nothing to do with you. It is just, I don't know, they're busy. They can't help you because they don't have the expertise, whatever it may be. I don't know why in previous years, I had such a personal attachment to people's reaction that I was like, in 2025, I guess, I don't know if I had the space or the mindset to finally realize, like, if someone says they're busy or whatever, like, it has nothing to do with me. They're just busy. So I am back to being more of putting myself out there in friendships, in social settings, having more of an open heart when it comes to relationships and dating, and just across the board in relationships in general, whether it be friends, family, men, whatever it may be, to just having more of an open heart, not overthinking it, and just enjoying myself and just going on the ride. And, let's see here, 5 days into January. And so far it feels pretty great. Not only is it just genuinely enjoyable, it has somehow attracted things that just feel easy, friendships that just feel easy. Everything just feels easier, which in turn feels more joyful, which in turn just makes me happier. So I don't know, I'm rambling because that's what I do. But if that tracks with anyone, if you just kind of let go, open your heart, put yourself out there and see what happens. And most importantly, knowing that no matter what, you're going to be just fine. You can enjoy the ride. And that's what I'm doing. And it feels pretty incredible. I have to tell you, I'm literally obsessed with my Oura Ring 4. Honestly, my Apple Watch was way too much noise for me. Stand up, sit down, you have a meeting, you're late, your steps are low, breathe, all the things. But this little ring has been an absolute game changer. It doesn't just track my sleep, it helps me actually rest better. Every morning, I get insights into my recovery, my readiness for the day, and whether my body needs more downtime. It even tracks my steps, my cycle, and literally so much more. If you're someone who loves data, cares about your health, and also loves cute jewelry, this ring is for you. This is a gentle reminder, backed by science, that rest is just as important as hustle. Unlock this powerful tool for better sleep, less stress, and smarter recovery with Oura Ring 4. Use my link in the show notes to get 10% off your Oura Ring today. I am also taking with me my health. I have PCOS. I have stored trauma. I'm certainly not special in this regard. Everyone's got health challenges. I also am not a great cook, nor have I really liked to cook in the past. But what I've done in 2025 is really figure out what medicine really fuels my body in the best way with PCOS. Still kind of figuring that out, but making some traction there. But most importantly, I have figured out how to cook how to make healthy food, what kind of food actually fuels me and makes me feel better. And I have started lifting again, and I have found a gym that I absolutely love. I love my trainer. He's so fun and he's great at his job. I think the gym is super fun and social. Hayden comes with me sometimes. I think Adeline's going to start. Alex wants to start. I'm like, okay, okay. But it's just like, it's just a joy to be there. I feel stronger. I feel leaner. Um, and my health journey has really shifted for how does it make my body feel? How does it feel fueled, et cetera, versus how do I look? And that has also cleared up so much mental baggage. Don't get me wrong, society's still a real bitch. We all have been trained. I forever will think that my stomach is giant. It is just silly and stupid. It will never look strong enough. I have to constantly remind myself that it carried 4 people, 2 at the same time at one point. And that I look great. And I know the reason that I look great is because I feel great. So I don't know. I eat a ton more vegetables. This is all going to be so boring, you guys. I wish I could be like, no, it's just so easy. I've pretty much cut out gluten, not because I'm allergic to it, but because I feel better. I've really focused on like just lowering inflammation. So my workouts are, I stretch as much as I can because my hips and my lower back hurt all the time because this is 44. And I play tennis multiple days a week and I lift 2 to 3 days a week. And then if I can get a walk, a stretch, a yoga, anything like that, I do it not out of punishment anymore. There's no punishment in the name of the health game. It is truly out of joy because I love moving my body and I love feeling better. So we were just in Mexico at an all-inclusive, eating and drinking all the things. And all I wanted was to go lift at the gym and eat some vegetables by the time this vacation was over. And I'm sure if my mom heard that, she would pass out right now because I used to hide my vegetables in all my food. But it's true. That's just how I feel now. So I'm taking my health progress with me. Also, to be clear, this was built one bite at a time. I used to, because I'm ADHD, like would just swing the pendulum one way and then the other and then the other. And these were just slow habits that I was like, do I have the space to cook? Do I have the space to find a couple of recipes that I'll make over and over again? Do I have the space to fit the gym in? So it's creating these small moments of space to move the needle just one little click at a time. Newsflash, that's how all things are built. Same as an entrepreneur, same as a health journey, same as organizing my finances, same as, getting the home established. You know how it is. I wish that there was an easy button, but it's not. It's a one by one kind of, little bit of effort, one making space at a time. The other thing I'm bringing into 2025 is my journaling practice. I know this isn't for everyone. I'm a morning person. I'm a morning juggler. Go feel free to hate me for it. Did I just say juggler? I meant journaler. I'm a morning journaler. It is just how I like to start my morning. I have a mantra that I am keeping to myself, but I have kind of written it. It is probably 4 sentences. And I write it every day and it grounds me. I also write gratitude. I number 1 through 10. I'm always like, man, how am I going to get to 10? I always go past 10. And then I always do the exercise of today I want to, and then I fill in the blank, feel, be, believe, receive, and give. Because there are so many times I wake up, probably 99 to 100% of the time, I wake up in the morning overwhelmed. And then when I do the exercise of how do I want to feel today? Who do I want to be today? What do I want to believe today? What do I want to receive today? And what do I want to give? It reframes everything. So often I'm like, I want to not feel overwhelmed. I want to feel confident. I want to feel this. I want to feel that based on what my day has in store for me. That's why I do it every single day. And it absolutely has changed everything for me. It is a huge needle mover. So I recommend it for absolutely everyone. So whatever is on your heart, do that exercise and see if you can flip the script a little bit. I also often, although not every day, will make a list of things that have made me proud because it is so easy to be like, I suck. I suck at mothering. I suck at parenting. I suck at keeping this house together. I suck at cooking. I suck at cleaning. I suck. We don't suck. We actually are amazing. And we never give ourselves enough credit. So I have started making a list of all the things that I'm proud of, especially when I feel my mindset getting more and more negative because I am only human. And it also brings such relief in such peace. So I also highly recommend that one. You don't have to journal in the morning. You don't have to do all those things in the morning. You could break it up throughout the day. You could take whatever parts and pieces work for you, but those are some of my very favorite things. Okay, so that is 2025 in review. There are a lot of things that have been incredible. God, we went on this incredible trip to Colorado. And like, I am meant to be a mountain woman. I love Cincinnati. Cincinnati has my whole heart. But there's something about Colorado and just experiencing that with my kids. And I have learned that traveling with my kids, just the five of us, I love traveling with other families too. But when it is just the five of us, I'm like this. And I'm just like acutely aware of how special it is. So anyway, big moments, little moments, what I'm taking with me. Now, when I think about 2026, what actually matters? When you think about your next year, what actually matters? To me, it is, does my family feel safe, secure, and loved? Everything else is gravy. All of the cute outfits for them for family photos, gravy. All of the fun activities that I take them to, gravy. All of the Instagram worthy moments, gravy. Do my kids know that they are safe, that they are loved, that I am here to support them building the life that they dream about? That is all that matters. When it comes to me, am I happy? I'm not going to be happy all day, every day. I'm just a human doing the humaning, but am I happy? And am I being an active participant in my happiness? Because happiness does not happen to you. You create your own happiness. So am I continuing to figuring out what happiness means to me and investing in that wholly? Am I happy and am I healthy and am I safe? That's all I care about. And then for work, does it bring me joy? Does it bring service? Most importantly, am I serving a community in a way that feels meaningful? And the other thing that I really want to challenge myself for this year is, am I continuing to show up? And can I push myself even more, which I already know the answer is yes, more authentically, especially on social? I love me a curated feed. I think it's pretty. It almost is like a portfolio, like an artist portfolio. But in the captions, is it my real talk? In my videos, is it my real talk? When I actually host these webinars or do these podcast episodes or one-on-one coaching, am I being completely authentic, open, and vulnerable? Yes. Do I want to be buttoned up and professional so that people trust me and believe the things I'm saying? Yes. But I think what builds real connection and real trust is showing up, even in the business space, as your whole authentic self. So that is something that I'm absolutely pushing myself for in 2026. So again, starting at the top, what actually matters? It's the simple stuff. It's the broad stuff, trying not to get overwhelmed. If I think about what habits were actually kind of slowly destroying me, taking away from the things that really matter in 2025, I'm going to try my hardest to not bring in with me in 2026. If I'm really honest, I still am angry and I still am resentful. Not all the time, not at all. But the thing about life-changing events, which again, I am not special, this happens to everyone in some form of life-changing event, is there's so much grief. Grief isn't just someone has passed. There's grief when a life has changed so drastically that what feels like should have been a normal moment based on the life that you're building no longer exists. So it's sneaky, right? Like all forms of grief. And with that, it can trigger my anger and my resentment. And I have every right to feel those things, but they no longer serve me. It has been a minute. And I've done a great job of letting all that go. But it still sneaks in because I am a human doing the humaning. And so I want to continue to just open my heart and let that go and to focus on the fact that yes, my life looks drastically different, but it is also an incredible life with a very clean slate, a fresh notebook that I get to write my own story. And so if I focus on anger and resentment versus opportunity and love and happiness, that will God, anger and resentment, especially associated grief, it makes you physically ill. It makes you sad. It makes you tired. It makes you depressed. And will those emotions still continue to come into my life? Yes, again, because I am the human doing the humaning. But the quicker I can take a deep breath and let that shit go, the better I will be, the better my children will be, the better all the relationships in my life will be. So I'm really, really excited to continue to just not let that drain me. Self-doubt. Doesn't that suck? Self-doubt sucks. It's such a bitch. Again, we're all humans doing the humaning. Every person has it, but I will continue to challenge myself and challenge those thoughts because there's no room for those here. Am I a human and I'm going to make a million mistakes? Absolutely. Are those mistakes going to all be gifts? Without a doubt. So why don't I just throw self-doubt to the curve? Not from an egotistical standpoint, but just from a humble, I trust myself, I love myself, doubt has got to go, and keep moving forward. With self-doubt and imposter syndrome and that kind of stuff can also come self-sabotage. And that is something where I'm like, ooh, I need to continue to keep my eye on that. So for example, I have not really promoted this January webinar enough. That is a form of self-sabotage because it is uncomfortable for me to come on here and be like, look what I built. Look what I built. Look, I did the thing. I built and did the thing because I care so deeply about the women out there who want to feel empowered, who are feeling overwhelmed, who are just trying to start and run their business. I didn't build the thing so I can go on there and be like, look at me, look how smart I am, look how great I am. Not even close. That actually makes me cringe in a million ways. So I self-sabotaged the signups for the January webinar because I didn't go on there and push hard enough and tell people from a sense of pride and compassion why I built the thing I built. So, I mean, self-sabotage is such a strong term, but that's just an example that I wanted to share. Or let's say I start a new relationship and it's going really well. And it's just easy and it's fun. And I could be like, whoa, this freaks me out. That would be self-sabotage. Even if I don't do anything about it, letting those thoughts creep in is a form of mild self-sabotage. So I want you guys to sit and think about, is that something that you guys do in your daily life? When something could be really great, do you shortchange it? Even if it doesn't work out, most importantly, even if the webinar doesn't sell as much as I wanted to sell, even if new friendships, new relationships, new whatever ships start and it doesn't work out, most importantly, I'm going to be okay and I'm going to learn something. But what I will deeply regret now is if I don't open my heart and put myself out there and just enjoy the ride. So that is stuff I'm not bringing with me into 2026. The last thing I want to ask is for all my entrepreneurship girlies out there is, does this, or if you're a working person, or if you were even a stay-at-home person, whatever you are doing now, does this fill in the blank, whether it be job, situation, whatever, does this life bring out the person that you want to be? Does this job bring out the person that you want to become? Does this bring you energy, whatever it is that you're doing or personally thinking about right now? Does it drain you or does it bring you energy? When you think about if you are in a job working for somebody else, that could be really lovely. Does it drain you or does it bring you energy? Being an entrepreneur and thinking about your why behind your business, does that drain you or does that bring you energy? In the way that you are required to show up, does it drain you or bring you energy? I also challenge you, if it is draining you, why is it draining you? Is it because it's pushing you in a way that you need to be pushed? So for me, is it pushing me in a way where it's like, yes, I do need to show up more as my authentic self. Can that be scary? Absolutely. But is that so good for my soul and for my business? Yeah. So that's a great push versus if I had to get on and sell something over and over and over again, that feels inauthentic to me and something that I don't enjoy. So that is draining my energy in a negative way, whether it be friendships, relationships, whatever situations, volunteer opportunities. Does it bring you energy or does it drain your calendar? That is such a great question to think about when you are thinking about what are you bringing with you into 2026? When you think about your business, what is your why? Does that feel clear? Does that light you up? And do you get to fully be yourself in your business when you get to show up? Because that is the goal. It is not
how much money do I want to make? Don't get me wrong. We all have to turn the lights on, but it is, who do I want to be? Am I doing what I love? Am I making an impact in my life and in other people's lives? Does this bring me joy? Does this fill me cup? Does this fill my cup? Does this give me energy? All of those things are what really, 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 really matter in life. That doesn't mean that you don't have to still do hard work. That doesn't mean that the dishwasher has yet to unload itself. Please, God, why? That doesn't mean that there are not hard days and bad days and failures. All of that is a part of life. But do you have the other side of the scale built solidly enough and with enough oomph that none of that stuff gets to matter because the rest of life is so damn good? Hey, fellow boss babe, if you're craving less time on social because it feels like you're constantly in your comments and DMs trying to respond back to your potential customers, I totally get it. When I had my e-commerce business, I felt like I checked Instagram every 5 minutes. But what if there was a smarter, easier way to connect with your audience? Good news, there is. Let me introduce you to ManyChat, my go-to tool for automating messages on Instagram, Facebook, and even text. With ManyChat, you can set up automated conversations in minutes. No tech headaches, no coding required. Trust me, if I can figure it out, so can you. It's perfect for handling links to your offers, growing your list with DM keywords, and even booking clients literally while you sleep. It's efficient, super user-friendly, and honestly, it's like having a virtual assistant built right into your DMs. And the best part? Because you're a friend of the Write Your Own Story podcast, you can try it totally free for your first month. Just use the link in the show notes. Is there anything better than to test something for your business for an entire month with no cost attached? It's my favorite. So if you're ready to save time, respond faster, and turn followers into clients, tap the link in the show notes and give ManyChat a try for free. First month's on me. Grab the offer today and go enjoy a much needed break from your phone. You deserve it. And that's all I got. That's all I got for this one. So if you are an entrepreneur, if you are thinking about starting a business, come hang out with us on January 12th, or at least sign up and listen to the recording, because Tyann and I are going to have an incredible, very vulnerable, open conversation about what it means to set goals, both personally and professionally, what it means. Actually, Tyann, this is hilarious. She hates setting goals, but like, she's developed her own framework so that she can look inside to be able to set goals that actually feel great. And then we will break down what are the actual actionable steps to be able to achieve these goals, because the last thing I want for you guys is just more stuff to go chase after on your plate. We've all got way too much on the plate to begin with. So let's strip that down. Let's prioritize it. Let's be open and honest about it. And let's make you a real plan that will help you achieve them. If that sounds like fun, we are going to laugh along the way too, because you know me, I can't help but be sarcastic and ridiculous. And hopefully it's going to be a community of awesome, strong females who are very honest about what's hard and what's not. So I'm really pumped about this first webinar. So please come hang out with us. Go to writeyourownstory.co, check out Female Founders Academy and look for that webinar series and join up. It's only $79 and I would absolutely love to have you there. You will add so much value and I know you will get so much from it as well. All right, guys, that's all I've got. I am so excited for 2026. I'm so grateful for 2025. Thank you for being a safe space for me to just put my thoughts and feelings and swirly whirls out there into the interweb. I cannot wait for season 3 of the show. I cannot wait for all the great things that we have in store here at the Write Your Own Story Co. I am so grateful for the people, for Lawson and for Juanita, who helped me build this incredible company that I could not be more proud of. I am so grateful for my kids who root for me and support me, and for my older 2 who like every single post and reshare everything. God, that made me feel really emotional too. There's nothing like your own family rooting for you, and for my friends who are out there rooting for me every step of the way. And for all of you following along, I can't thank you enough. This is an incredible opportunity for me to just be me out here trying to do the best I can to make an impact in the world. And I really appreciate your love and support. And truly, this is all for you. So happy New Year, guys. I can't wait to see what 2026 has in store for you. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Well, that's the end of this episode, but promise me, you won't stop here with whatever it is you're feeling or dreaming about. I hope you leave today feeling empowered to live life just as you see fit. If this podcast was helpful to you, it would mean the world to me if you could leave a review on whatever platform you're listening on. I genuinely just want to help women live the life they dream about. So if this type of content tracks with you, subscribe to this podcast or visit our website, writeyourownstory.co, to download digital courses or to grab a journal and a mug to just dream in and dream with. It's your life, lady. Do you. And just remember, I'm rooting for you and you've totally got this.